Yes, my peoples, Shaka&T Talk Show back. And we're back with another special guest, but this is a very special one. Very close to the heart, this one. Yeah? Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Jade. I'm Tashi's little sister, Shaq's little sister-in-law.
How old are you, Jade?
16. She's still in school.
Still in school. So you're in your last year.
Yeah.
When you finish in school?
June.
How's it going?
It's going good.
What subjects do you study?
English, maths, science, then Latin, history, 3D art and food tech.
What's your favourite subject?
Or 3D art or food tech. Don't recommend picking history, guys. For you out there that are choosing your GCSEs, don't choose history or Latin.
Why would you say don't choose history?
Because I don't know what like other schools are like, but my school, for example, history that you learn in like year 7, 8, 9, even the tests you take, complete different content, complete different structure, everything's different. So unless you're really good at history and that's something that you really want to do, I wouldn't recommend. Schools nowadays, they barely choose anything in any curriculums, like even history. Certain children, year 7s for example, they was in like year 3 or like year 2 when COVID was around. And I feel like COVID is such a big part of the world, at least for us. And some people don't even remember it, if you get me. I'm hoping that in a couple of years' time, at least, it's actually taught in like history. Because so many people died as well. It's like our version of the Black Plague. They should add stuff more modern and things that would make people actually want to like go to English.
And
like
learn more about
oh, I want to go English, we're learning this. That's really exciting. And also the teachers need to have more enthusiasm about it sometimes.
So what I think about the school system is I feel like storytelling should be taught at a younger age. So maybe from like 5 all the way up to maybe 12, 13. And as soon as you hit like year 8, year 9, you should start getting into more practical things that are going to help you with after school stuff, like writing emails, knowing how to apply for a mortgage, how to get loans, and how to appeal certain things. So like when you start driving and you get a ticket, knowing how to structure the letter to appeal to the council or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to ask you, Jade, is with all this stuff, because you're very academic, as we can hear, and I know, so what do you want to get into? Like, what was your dreams before school days, like when you was very young? And what's your dreams now that you've gone through the school system?
So at first, when I was little, I wanted to be a vet. I think that was only because we had a dog. So all I thought about was like working with dogs. Now I couldn't be a vet because seeing dogs sick, having to operate on them, like no, that's not for me. The blood ain't for me either. I only decided I wanted to work with children past 7 months or something after I did work experience in year 10. I'm telling you, when you do work experience, do something that you might actually want to do. Don't just go work at like hobbycraft if you don't want to work hobbycraft the rest of your life. Or go somewhere that you could see yourself working in the future, because working at that primary school actually made me see like I actually do want to work with kids.
Let me stop you there. Sorry to cut you. There's no harm in doing other jobs that have nothing to do with what you want to do, because it gives you experience and you learn how to run so many different types of businesses. So that's not a problem doing that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it just solidified what I was thinking of doing, because like I've got a list. I recommend looking at different types of jobs, every type of job you could think of basically, because don't just put yourself here because there's one near me, or I'll work here because it's easier to get into. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Even at one point I wanted to be a marine biologist because you can travel the world and see so many new things whilst working with animals. I went from a vet to that because I'm working with animals, but I'm not like working with sick ones, basically.
What do you think is a way for people to know other jobs? How did people find other than mainstream jobs? Like, what did you do?
Well, I feel like for people to learn and like find out those different jobs, schools should bring those in. Workshops, like different like real estate agents, marine biologists, all of that, because it gives you a taste for what you might want to be in the future. Although that's expensive, money, yeah, we're not going to get into that yet. Money goes away, but the memories last forever. School could bring in a lawyer firm. So, you know, you could be having 10, 20 people come out of your school and like go be the biggest lawyers in the world, and you can be like, oh yeah, they went to my school. Oh yeah, I taught them. But the way how I came around, like seeing like marine biologists and stuff like that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was TikTok. Like my For You page would fill with them, and I was like, oh, that's something I want to be. So then I went on to research. Oh, what's that? What would you have to get to do that? Blah blah blah, etc.
So, what are you going to do after you finish year 11? What subjects?
But I'm going into sixth form. I'm doing A levels, psychology, sociology, and health social care, because I already love talking about like the human body, the human mind, why people do what they do, what triggers people to act the way how they act and stuff. So you learn that more. The reason why I chose to do A levels instead of just go to college and do a course is because I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do. At least with those A levels, like I can go on to do anything basically. Well, not anything, but like
Can branch off to a few different things.
I can go into like quite a lot of things instead of me choosing a course and me regretting it. But then again, you can go back to college and go to university any age. Like there's people like 60-year-olds that still go to university.
It's a good mindset because I do feel like in your teens to like your late 20s should be a time where you're trying a lot of things.
Yeah, I feel like school and society make you think that if you don't know exactly what you're doing now,
You're
you're
a
gonna fail in
failure.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Between now and even just secondary school till like mid-20s, you're gonna do different things. You're gonna like meet different
See the
people.
world.
Yeah,
Travel and see the world because you might even not want to live in the country you're living in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like one thing I think like school and even society need to realise is that it's so normalised that the only way you can be smart is school smart, when it's not the case. Like there's so many people out there that didn't get the GCSEs, didn't get the grades, that done so well in life. Don't belittle yourself anymore. Don't make yourself feel bad just because you're not good at English or you're not good at maths. As much as sometimes people like to say, oh, that's something you need this, you need that. Not everything is based on grades and what you're good at and what you're not good at. People need to focus on what they're good at and not just what you're supposed to know.
In other words, don't let the school system mess you up.
Mm.
Don't let them
Bring you down.
boggle your
Corrupt
mind.
you.
Don't let them boggle your mind, bruv. Because I'm telling you, they nearly boggled my mind. But I got a lot of good people around me.
And stay positive.
A negative mind doesn't give you a positive life. Like you've got to have a positive mind to have a positive outcome.
Aye.
Clark it.
Live your life how you want to live your life, basically. You only live once.
One thing I can say though, let's say you do like doing something and you have a natural talent at it, doesn't mean you're going to be successful in it.
Yeah.
You still need to have that discipline and that structure and that effort to put in. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm good at a lot of things, but I'm not the best. So it's like you gotta still put in that work as if you weren't good at it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I gotta say.
And always learn. No matter what you're good at, there's always something new to learn. To whatever that is, whether it's dance, cricket, carpentry, anything. It can be anything. You're always gonna keep learning. No one knows everything.
There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as
You're gonna
perfection.
keep learning.
You can't be perfect.
It's also, if you love something, like you can love baking and be rubbish at it. If it's something that you love doing, then still do it. You don't have to be good at something.
See, don't let society and other people's success ruin your love of something. So just because you see like LeBron James and he's the best at basketball, doesn't mean you should stop because you can't get like him. Do it because it makes you feel happy, but also have a plan.
Because as well as that, someone was better than him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
and there will be someone better than him.
Yeah, 100%.
Always have a plan B, because you don't want to be in your 50s, your 60s, and you've done something your whole life that you didn't enjoy, that you didn't love. Like, work isn't supposed to be something that you dread going to. It should be something that you're excited to go to. And like another thing with school is certain schools, one thing that I appreciate about at least my head of year, he always wants us to excel in being better. Some schools are like, as long as you get fours and as long as you get a pass, then it's okay. Obviously, there's certain people out there where getting the pass is like amazing, and that is perfectly fine because obviously everybody has their own abilities, everyone has their own strengths of certain things. Someone could be rubbish at maths but excellent at art.
It does open up more doors though. Like, as much as we're telling you not to worry too much about school and get your grades, you still can become successful without GCSEs. However, passing your GCSEs will open up more doors. You'll find it easier to get into colleges, get certain jobs. That's just the life we're in right now, isn't it? Like paperwork.
When you're in a negative environment, when people are like, oh, but it doesn't matter if you don't get this because you can always go do that, I feel like you should always want the best for yourself. I know certain people that they'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing this, I'm not revising, but they can be sat there and telling you this, but they're actually trying hard. Like nowadays, it's so normalized to be stupid. Like it's cool to be stupid. It's if you're smart, then you're a nerd. I live my life. I like to say I live my life to the fullest. I go out with my friends. I have fun. I go parties, but that doesn't mean that just because I have fun that I shouldn't try hard in school. For example, me with history, I don't like history, but I do want to do good in it because it makes you feel better in a way, knowing that
you achieve something that you find difficult.
As much as I would say, don't worry about being a nerd and book smart, you gotta have that balance. So let's say you are a nerd and you're always in the library and you ain't got no friends. You're gonna struggle with social stuff.
Yeah.
So you gotta be book smart and also have that social way to you where you can talk to people, you can be around people, you see what I'm saying? So don't be the idiot and you got bare friends, you got so much, you got a lot going on, but you ain't in your books.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, all you've got are yourself. You'll have maybe 1 or 2 friends that you've gone to secondary school with, but at the end of the day, it's your life. So if you want to indulge in your school life and stuff and come out with all 8s and 9s, then you do that for you, your life at the end of the day.
Do what actually makes sense for you, what makes you happy. So if that's revising all the time, but also still hanging out with your friends, you've got a good balance. That's what you need to do. You need to have a good social balance, work-life balance, school balance, whatever the case is, so you're able to adapt. The key thing is being able to adapt in any situation. Being able to adapt in school, being able to adapt in a party, being able to adapt in a business environment, being able to adapt in a cafe, like all things that might make you uncomfortable. Learn to adapt to things. If you can adapt to every single situation, it doesn't matter what you do or where you are. Even if you're not the smartest, if you just try to learn certain things and you can adapt in certain places and carry yourself in a certain way, people will think that you're higher than you actually are. Value yourself a lot as well. Because if you value yourself well and you're positive and you're good, people will gravitate more off of that than actually what you know. And you can learn off of people. Don't ever think that because you're 10, 15, 60, that you can't learn off a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old. Do you know what I mean? You can learn off anyone. A baby can teach you things.
Yeah.
So don't ever think that just because your age or where you're from or whatever it is, that means that you can never learn anything, because you can learn whatever you want. And it's all about what you put in, because you might be someone that puts in a lot of time to football, games, but when it comes to socializing with people, you don't have to socialize. That's because all you're putting in is football and games. Whereas if you put in that, but you also maybe socialize with the people at the football pitch, socialize with the coaches or the people outside of that, if you go to a business place or you go to an event or anything like that, you know how to socialize with people a little bit. Because I tell you, social anxiety is a real thing. It's a real thing. I find it hard to socialize with people sometimes.
There's one thing I want to say, going back a little bit. One thing I learned from a book, Atomic Habits. I think it's a great book. Read that book. One thing I learned from that book was mix something you like to do with something you have to do. So you might not like reading, but you like meeting up with your friends. So meet up with your friends and read. You see what I'm saying? That's helped me with a lot of stuff as well, innit?
Add on to what you guys said. Like, we're actually talking about like the social anxiety. Like, that's something that I struggled with a lot. And sometimes now I still do. You can't let something like that control your life. When you let it control you, it sends you into a deeper spiral. When you're in your 7, 8 and 9, you think that if you fight with your friends, it's the end of the world. Trust me, been there, done that. You shouldn't stay in an environment or a friend group with people that treat you like rubbish, or people that don't have same morals. There could be lovely people, nice people, but if you guys are completely different in so many ways, don't stay in that friendship. I've had people tell me, and I've said this myself, that if I leave them, then I'll have nobody. It's so much better to have nobody than to be in a place where you're unhappy all the time. That's not me saying completely like drop them, everything, but I feel like it's much better to find your people than stay with people that don't really mesh with you, if you get me. Like me now, since like year 10, been in a much better friend group. Like we're all different individuals in our own ways, but we all mix together well. Like, and going back to the nerdy things, I've been reading for a year now, and people will be like, oh, you're a nerd, you read. But that's not always the case. Like, I don't see why it's normalised that, oh, you read, or you do your homework, you're a weirdo, you're a nerd. Me personally, when I read, it's an escape of reality in a way. You get to live the world through so many people's point of views. You can see like how people deal with certain situations different to you, and it opens up your mind into so many different ways. Like, I'd like to say this past year I've changed a lot as a person. I've developed more like emotional intelligence. I've always been like a sensitive person, emotion intelligent person, but I've also learned that when you're in an argument with someone, you still like, it's so much better to look at it from their point of view, not just, oh, I'm angry with them, so I don't care what they have to say, don't care about this. Like, if you actually sit down and think, oh, maybe they said that because they're feeling this type of way, or maybe this is happening, you see how much you can get a better outcome out of it than just sitting here angry at each other, especially teenage girls. Sometimes teenage girls can be so nasty. You'll be in a friend group and let's say one person's annoyed you, but you go and talk to another person about it instead of the person that's annoyed you. That's the wrong way to go about it. I feel like instead of talking to the person about what they've done that's upset you, if you're going to talk to someone else about it and you're talking about it again and again and again, it's just building some resentment towards that person. Whereas if you were to go to them and be like, you know what, you said this, it annoyed me, like, blah, 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 it makes it so much better that you're going to the person and actually picking them up on it, and you guys can resolve whatever you've got in a day, rather than being annoyed at each other for a month or 2 months, or even never speaking again. There's certain things that you might do when you're younger that you'll regret in the years to come, basically.
Preach. All I gotta say is, bro, Jade is dropping some gems there. We gotta
Yeah,
bring you
take it
back on.
in.
Yeah, just take that in. I feel like people can learn so much from what you just said, and yeah, go on.
For example, a couple of weeks ago on TikTok, obviously you can repost stuff, and this girl in a year below from me, obviously I'm not going to name drop, but like I saw that she, like, there's certain things she reposted, and I saw that she'd been in a position with her mental health, everything that I had been in at her point in life, basically. So like, I feel like if you see someone, it doesn't matter if you don't know them, it doesn't matter if you've had beef in the past, like, if you see someone, you relate to what they're feeling, put aside that, oh, she's a stranger, or oh, he's a stranger, I don't know him. Sometimes just asking them, are you okay? Or if you ever want to talk about it, then I'm here to talk about it. And like, show you actually mean it. That can make someone's day so much. Like, I know so many people, myself included, that if I just had a random stranger be like, oh, you seem like you're down, like, I'd like to have a chat, like, that could save so many people, if you get me. Because sometimes people don't feel comfortable speaking to a family member or a friend about their troubles. Sometimes they would rather speak to a stranger. Like when I was younger, for example, when I would do dance competitions in primary school, I could dance in front of millions of people that I don't know. But if you want me to dance in front of one person in my family, I couldn't do it.
I don't think that mental health is an age thing.
Yeah.
It can be fine when you got mental health, mate.
Don't listen to anyone that say like, oh, you can't be depressed at 12. But you can. You just can't let it run your life. Bring yourself out of your room, go out with your friends, go swimming, go on a run. Just make yourself busy.
Remember what I was saying to you the other day about depression? Everyone goes through depression.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through happiness, sadness. It's just another emotion.
Yeah.
When people say, oh, I've been depressed for years, but they don't say I've been happy for years. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't mention them things. You've been happy, sad, angry every single day. I can admit there's probably a few minutes, and sometimes some days are longer, that I've been depressed.
Yeah.
But no emotion lasts the whole day. So all that depression stuff, I don't know.
In the sense of everything's always a negative.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to always say the negative rather than the positive.
Yeah.
So you might have been happy.
It's an internal thing.
Yeah, you might have been happy for 2 days, but you was depressed for 5. and now you're just depressed.
Now you're
Do you know what I
saying
mean?
now you're saying you're depressed the whole
Yeah.
week. More focus on the positive side of things
And
and
one
accept
thing,
it. Accept it.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
understand that you can't control every situation.
because as I said as well, let's say I'm feeling down, or let's say I get a parking ticket. So that could mess me up. I could be feeling depressed in that moment. Then I might go on TikTok and see a funny video of a baby dancing with their dad.
Yeah.
And I'm happy now.
Yeah.
But then you see, after that video is done, I go back to thinking about the parking ticket.
Yeah.
So that depression might take up majority of the day. So you're just saying, yeah, I've been depressed for weeks, but not realizing that you've had happy and sad and different emotions throughout. So you've got to train your mind to literally be more positive. And what Jade said, do things that will take your mind away from them things.
Yeah.
So if you know you are thinking about this parking ticket, maybe go see your girlfriend. Maybe go play tennis.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Go do stuff that make you feel better.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking in that depressive mode.
Even me, I'm a very organised person. Like, these two think I'm crazy sometimes.
No.
She's OCD.
No, not crazy.
OCD with it.
No, I rate it.
Yeah. Don't let that fool you. Sometimes, like, I'll be washing up. If I'm listening to music, I'm washing up. Or I'm in my bed on a Saturday. If I put on music, I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me hoover my room. Oh, I've hoovered my room now. Let me clean my things.
Something you have to do with something you like to do.
Yeah.
I say all this now. This time last year, that weren't me. Everything that I've said, the learning curve, basically. Like, as much as you might be going through it now, you'll learn from it. You learn so much from hard times. In the moment, it's like, oh, wow, this really hurts. In the future, you're going to realise, you know what? That month, that day was bad, but look at me now.
You got yourself out of it.
Yeah. What do you think is the two biggest things that can help someone or helps you to get out of that state?
The two biggest things that helped me get out of that state was obviously my sister, her boyfriend, and a couple of my best friends. Surround yourself with the people that you love. As much as when you're in those states, getting out of bed is the biggest thing. And people need to realise getting up to go use the toilet is hard. Sometimes getting up to brush your teeth is hard. And people need to learn that sometimes that can be the hardest thing for someone, and them doing that is the biggest achievement of the week.
Let's say first thing you get out of bed, make your bed up.
Yeah.
That's the first, someone said that's the first achievement of the day. Get up and tidy and make your bed up. That's the first thing. So it's like, you come back in and you're like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's true what you're saying, like getting out of bed and making your bed up and having a tidy space helps a lot with your mindset.
For me, a messy room mirrors what you're feeling inside. That's not always the case. But for me, when I was going through those times, you didn't want to see my room. Like, my room was not it. But now, like, they redecorated my room for my birthday. I got my bookshelf. I could, woke up this morning like I come out of a movie, like stretching the arms, everything. You cannot let a mental illness, you can't let school, you can't let people rule your life. You need to live your life how you want to live it.
Also appreciating the small things. So like you appreciating that your room was tidy, your room's done, that's lifted you up. Where people look at big things like not having the nicest car, the nicest watch, chain and all these things. Appreciate what you have.
Yeah,
And
don't
be
compare
content.
yourself.
Yeah, be content with what you have.
Yeah.
And just keep going with the flow and enjoy the journey.
And you don't realise that someone might be posting that you've got this and they've got that, but you don't know what their real life is behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So don't compare yourself, because they might be posting that they've got jewelry or a new car, etc. But they might have a rubbish family.
Yeah.
They might have no support. They might have no love at home. So
No
don't
structure.
compare yourself. Yeah, don't compare yourself to other people, because you don't really know what someone else is going through. Even the closest person to you. You don't know what's going on in anyone's brain. You can ask them, but that doesn't mean that's what's actually going on in their brain.
But one thing here, we try to be open.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to help. Yeah, we try.
Another thing I want to say as well is a massive thing is being content with yourself, first of all, and loving yourself. Like, I'm not saying that when I was going through those things, I didn't love myself. Like, as much as I love seeing my friends, I could go a month, 2 months without seeing my friends and be fine. Back then, I couldn't go a weekend without going out and seeing my friends. Now, like, I only meet my friends out of school, like, maybe every other week, every month. You've got to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else in any situation, whether it's family, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friend. The second thing that brought me out of like that state was reading. Like, obviously some people reading's not for you, and like,
I think reading's for everyone. You just gotta find
what you
what you like.
Yeah.
you might think this type of genre is boring. I don't even want to read 5 pages in school, but you see, when I get home, like, I read romance books, guys. Recommend. People think, oh, it's just lovey-dovey, happy-dappy. But no, even the characters, like, they'll have hard lives. And, like, they show you the struggles that some people really go through. Think about your favourite romance movie. Put that into the book. There's so much more emotions. Like, you get to see what they're thinking in their head. You get to have the ins and outs of everything that you can't get in a movie. Like, they're not going to speak out their mind like a Shakespeare like play.
So you like romance. What do you like, Tashi?
I don't, but
we read a little
I
bit
like
together.
more like real life, and like I want to know what's going on in people's heads. I don't know what you put on, you put that in. So more like a psychology. Yeah.
I like financial mindset growth. You know what I'm saying? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Atomic Habits, Indistractable.
Like, it's giving you guys all the gems.
Yeah, man.
Get buying.
Those are the books, man. And I can honestly say, reading changed me. Like, I already had a strong mindset and I was very positive, but reading what I liked, you know what I'm saying? One of my friends put me on to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that was it. Then I started buying books, and then I started spreading it around. People that want to get into certain things, so if you know someone likes romance and stuff, you can recommend them stuff, and they will go and buy it, and they'll get into it.
And even maybe just reading a little bit to them.
Yeah.
And just seeing how they take it.
But it's also like, don't listen to other people's opinions. For example, on TikTok, it'll come up for your page, it'll be a book I'm reading, and someone like, oh yeah, I hate this book.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
I really think in your age group, it's a lot harder to think on your own, because you're basically with these people every single day. Whereas once you leave school, you kind of have that freedom and that whatever responsibility to your own. And you want to fit in, which is understandable. No one's stopping you guys.
That's a human trait.
Yeah, it's a human thing.
Trait. No matter where you go, you're going to want to fit in.
Always try something new. Don't just follow because your friend's doing this and they're doing that, because I promise you, they'll probably leave you one day. Yeah. They will leave you. And you're not, half the friends that you're friends with now, you're not going to be friends with them in 20 years.
I only stopped trying to fit in maybe June. Because not everybody is supposed to be the same. Not everybody is supposed to like this, like that. At the end of the day, we're not robots. Like,
but they're trying to. Society, they're trying to make us robots. Society. They are. School system, teaching everyone the same thing. He's a robot. He's a robot. Everyone's learning the same thing. You're programmed. But I don't want to get into that. You got to come back on, and we got to go deeper. But yeah, just wrap it up by anything you want advice on, you want to ask us, you want to know from us.
What would your advice be if you like met someone that was going through a similar situation that you was going through at a young age? What would you tell them?
I'd kind of just tell them to stay positive, because I wasn't always a positive person. So I left through. Since Shaka came around, I started to be positive. Spread a lot of positivity in this house. Keep going. And don't feel disheartened when the closest people that you think are around you, the closest people that are around you, aren't supporting you in the way that you want them to. Because the way how you look at people is not the same way how people are going to exactly treat you. You and everyone have different morals. You obviously will probably find people that have similar morals to you in life, but you might be a person that, let's say, someone you know has some sort of business or whatever the case may be. You might be someone that every time they post something, you're on it, regardless of the time. As soon as you see it, you're on it. And that other person might not be the same. They might be a more of a here and there, they tell you well done, or they tell you you done good, or they might post something or repost something. So don't feel disheartened, and don't take it too much to yourself. Obviously, some people, they're going to get dropped anyways. But don't take it too much when people aren't doing things that you expect them to do, because not everyone's going to be like you, and you will learn that the hard way. I've definitely gone through things and said, what the fuck? Like, I've done this for you. Why the hell would you not receive it back? Do you know what I mean? But it's just everyone's different. Everyone's brought up different. Everyone's brought up in a different household. Everyone has different morals. So don't take it too deep. Just understand that you're the most important person, because it's your life.
So for my answer would be what Tashi said. Yeah, all of that. Plus, I keep my one short, and this is what I'll tell my younger self straight: ask more questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Ask more questions straight.
Talk to everyone.
Talk to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Different industries, different family members, all of that. Just ask more questions. Be more open and be more ready to learn.
And don't be scared to reach out and ask, "Oh, do that." I need to take that advice myself. Don't be so worried to ask someone, "Oh, how did you get into that? Oh, how did you do this? Oh, what made you want to do that?" Because one day you might regret it. And it's also touching on what Shashi said. At the end of the day, you should be your biggest hype man. You should be your biggest supporter. All you've got is yourself, and you've got to give yourself the love that you want. And then when someone else gives you that as well, at least you have yourself to rely on, basically.
Because you respect yourself and hold yourself so high,
doesn't matter what anyone else does.
the love that you're going to receive, there'll be a standard. You see what I'm saying? So you can't just let anyone around you, because you and yourself hold yourself here. So you're not going to mess with someone that's loving you at this level. So you got to have someone that's at here or even higher. So it's like, rate yourself. Anyone got anything else?
Yeah. To the girls and boys my age. Okay, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite saying this, but in secondary school, year 9, 10, 11, everyone's getting into their relationships. Don't be bothered that you're not in one. I'm in year 11. I haven't been in an actual relationship. What you've got to focus on is getting to where you want to be in life. Whether that's you never having a boyfriend till you're 30 or a girlfriend till you're 30, or everyone thinks that the way to have the best life is go to university, get a husband or a wife, have kids, live together the rest of your life. Some people don't want to get married. Some people don't want to have kids. Don't do something just because other people do it. I'm not going to university, I'll tell you that, because as much as I'm academically smart, personally, mentally, school's never been for me. But don't give up on school just because you're going through it at that moment. Year 8, year 9, I wanted to drop out of school. I'm so thankful that I didn't, because seeing where I am today, if I left at that point, then I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have the friends that I have today. Just getting up for school was a problem for me. You didn't even want to see my attendance in year 9. And now it's February now, and my attendance is still 100%. Don't doubt yourself. Yeah.
You learn a lot. And look, as she said, she's 16 and we're learning from her.
I still got more to say about, guys. Don't worry, I'll be back soon.
She'll be back. And you know what? Schedule. I'm surprised she hasn't said hello. Wrap it up. Schedule.
Yeah, guys, it's my bedtime soon. Also, just because your friends go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, they do all-nighters, don't listen to them. Me, my bedtime's 10:30 every night, guys. I don't care where I am. I don't care if I'm in the bloody North Pole. Best get me back to my bed for 10:30. Don't waste your time, your sleep on people that don't deserve your time or your effort. I can go to my friend's house, they can go to bed at 3 o'clock. Best believe I'm asleep by 10:30.
Everyone else is up, she's sleeping.
At the end of the day, I'm the boss of my own self. My body is my temple. When my body wants to go to sleep, my body's going to sleep. When my body wants to wake up, my body's going to wake up. Now, I don't know if that's just because I don't play around with my sleep, but don't follow everyone. It's important to have a schedule.
It
is. And a lot of people find it hard to even stick to a schedule.
We're going to bring her back on to talk. Message us, innit, if you want help, man. You know what I'm saying? She's here to help, man.
We can come back, meet and greet. Don't worry, guys. Get your money up, not your funny up as well. I'm not even joking. You see, if any employees are out here, get your girl. I can be a PA, I can be your administrator, anything, because I want to go to at least 10 countries in the next 2 years, Here, girl up.
And that's a wrap. Shaka and T Talk Show. We had Jade.
I should come up with a name. Jade 2 Chappy.
Welcome
Welcome to Brixton.